how they do it, but that is what kind of reminded me on what you're saying.
The complete opposite of the Maltese concept of eating. Eat until you're 120% full.
100%. Actually,
So-
it's a problem of ours, and that is why we are, one of the most obese nations in the world.
Yeah, unfortunately so.
Yeah, we love our cars,
Yeah.
and which I try to, as much as possible, walk, use public transport. Thankfully, I live in a central area,
Yeah, for sure.
which helps. I mean, yesterday I had to go to Valletta.
Yeah.
I arrived in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And I know I'm gonna get
Yeah.
stick from from my university students, who most of them own a car. And I tell them, to go to Valletta, it takes me 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Really? I've been waiting for a bus and this and that. Yeah, it does. So yesterday, when I had to go to Malta, I actually took a photo of my watch. Told them, yes, it took me 10 minutes and no parking hassle. No,
Yeah.
I was sitting down, I could read a book, I could catch up on my videos, my emails, things which I couldn't do, stuck in traffic, go to Valletta. So I think we need a culture change in Malta in so many ways. So many ways, one of them being environmental,
Yes,
the other being financial too.
Yeah.
There is a need, and I think being a niche area, at least my area I consider niche, it's not mainstream. The fact that it's garnered such a following, I think means that people are listening and people want to know this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we try, but there are many things we need to change. But let's start one step at a time, right?
Yes, I think when we speak about change, we see change is a big word,
Uncomfortable word.
It is very uncomfortable word, and they say, or there are studies that say that people don't like change very much. At the same time, change is a constant, so we change whether we like it or not. So I think that we don't like big changes. We don't like to be shook to the point where we lose sight of what's happening. But small, incremental changes, one step at a time.
They compound.
Yes, in the right direction, they have a compounding effect.
Honestly, one of the most formative experiences of my life was actually a wholesale change in my life, and it wasn't an easy change because I was in a stable job. I was an accountant, doing well. I was in a managerial position, but I knew that I wasn't doing something. I wasn't sort of answering my purpose, let's call it that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go away from accounting, but use my accounting knowledge as a foundation, right? And one of my dreams was to go out and study abroad. And anyway, cut a long story short, I did it. I went to Madrid, Spain, and for one name, literally, I was next on the list to get a scholarship, and I didn't get a scholarship. So I was counting on a scholarship and didn't get it, one. And two, I was also banking on, failing the scholarship, I was banking on, fine, I'll work part-time while studying. I landed there, and all of a sudden the European debt crisis hits. Youth unemployment, 60%, And that is where I learned how to budget, save, invest. Well, budget and save initially, the hard way. And it was a transformative change in my life. Bear in mind that I didn't speak Spanish either, so I had to learn on the street Spanish. But it was as if, like, prior to that experience, I was seeing life in black and white.
Yeah.
I come back to Malta after a while, financial crisis and so on, and it's like, wow, there's color now, And this is change in its most extreme forms, right? But I had to go through that to really appreciate and grow as a person. But then there's drawbacks to that as well, because sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
And sometimes awareness, wholesale awareness, can be acute. For want of a better word, it's like every little thing you want to change, every little thing around you, because you've changed yourself, so you want to impose that change on everyone.
To fit in.
To fit in. Does that make sense?
I think it does, because we want to fit in, so we either change ourselves or we change the world around us to help us fit in. I think this is a very common concept that people are social beings, right? So we enjoy being in a form of a community. We've started off this podcast with the community feeling of the village. We want to be part of something, so although some people like to isolate themselves, they like their own company, which is fine and good and all. I think that for the most part, people want some sort of company, either a small circle of friends or acquaintances. Some of us prefer larger crowds, and that is also fine.
Are you the former or the latter?
Thank you for the question, first of all. It's a mix of both for me. I enjoy my downtime